Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Vancouver Sevens, a quarter final between Argentina and the French. Now, this match has already happened in this leg of the Sevens. These two sides playing off in the group stage, but now just the way that the draw works, they find themselves going head-to-head for this contest as well. Now, whoever wins this game will face up against the Spanish in the semi-finals, just getting themselves the upset win over New Zealand. But in the starting lineup for Argentina, as this match is just about to kick off, it is Santiago Mari, Luciano Gonzalez, Graziano, Marcos Moneta, Palandini, Azutsuk, and Alvarez, the last man in the starting side. And Argentina just now getting possession for the French. They have got the experience heads such as a Pauline Riva, Steven Perez-Martin, and Jordan Cepho is in there as well, but it's kicked in behind by the Argentines. Marcos Moneta not quite winning the foot race, and says Steven Perez-Martin, but a loose ball again picked up. It's happened quite a bit throughout this competition already. A lot of slipperiness out there, not just underfoot, but also with ball in hand. And Graziano says Louis in there, and Argentina wins, says Zach. France have won just one of their past 7 matches against Argentina on the World Sevens Series. So, not the best record in recent times. Now it's going to be the scrum peep for Argentina, about 25 metres out from this French line. And Graziano with the thumbs up. That's going to be a free kick now going the way of Argentina. Quickly taken, Marcos Moneta showing his speed. It's across to Luciano Gonzalez. Now Moneta plays half. Azutsuk going off to Santiago Alvarez. Now Azutsuk again with the pick and go has gone through the hands on the outside for Santiago Mari. And now France have got the position again here. I agree, Zach Kemp says bystander. Argentina, they have played 145 cup quarterfinals. They have only won 38% of them. France, they have played 85 and they have won 32%. So actually relatively even in terms of those numbers. Humidity making the turf slippery. It does look that way. And yeah, there's been a lot of drop balls and a lot of slips for these sides. But a penalty does go the way of France this time. They will be able to work their way up the field now. And Los Pumas, winner of this game, they will be going head-to-head with the Spanish, ladies and gents. A big upset caused once again by Spain. They seem to be doing it each and every week at the moment, up against New Zealand. Now Pauline Riva is going to be ready to throw this ball in. And nicely taken for the French. On the middle of the field. Nice step coming through here. This looks like Ben Miguel. They're not even going to be getting close to catching him, but that one's gone forward. Passing it out wide. Now back to the scrum for Argentina. Seems like it's going to be a relatively even contest here at the start of it. Going back and forth between these sides. Man, you must be tired, brother. Force 1 last night, says Wayne. Yeah, that is the one game, sadly, that we didn't get to cover on the channel. But yeah, we're running off about an hour's sleep yesterday, which is a bit crazy when you say it like that, but somehow I don't know why I've got energy, but we still do. We'll probably still be up for a little bit more time just so that we can get a preview out and also set up those live streams for throughout the night. We're going to be covering the 6 Nations fixtures taking place, which does involve Italy and France for that matchup. A little bit of a shaky scrum, but it is going to bounce out on the side of the Argentines. Now offloaded, Santiago Alvarez, 45 metres out from their own line here. Los Pumas looking for the gap. Luciano Gonzalez fends off Pauline Riva. Gets it away to the left-hand side where they do have a couple players waiting once again through their hands. It's gone backwards, says the referee. Alvarez doesn't risk the offload. It's been one of those type of evening sessions where everything is slipping out of the hands of the players. Even just in that breakdown, France have done enough to be able to get that still. Vamos Argentina, vamos Samish, says Mikhail. Is this your last one today until the Nations, says Wayne? Not quite. We've got 2 more taking place. The 2 other quarterfinals, nicely stolen by Marcos Moneta. He would back himself to go in. Oh, that's a deliberate knockdown. And Stephen Perez-Martin, he's going to go to the bin now for 2 minutes. He is frustrated about it, and it now gives France the disadvantage for 2. But yeah, we've got Fiji versus Great Britain, and then will be Australia versus South Africa. And then our next live stream's at 4 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow. So about 14 hours, somewhere around there. That should give us sufficient time to rest, hopefully. No, see, Disney says Lupe. I assume that's about whereabouts to watch it, because I know that it did say Disney Plus was an option on the World Rugby Sevens website. It can be a little bit dependent on whereabouts you are in the world. Now, scrum feed goes in, free kick. Going to be in favour of the Argentines, who will go away to the right-hand side. Luciano Gonzalez. It's around Pauline Rivera again. He's causing him all sorts of problems. That's forward on the outside. I thought for Argentina, maybe it was just the angle. But Azutsuk dragged down 5 metres out from the line. Jordan Sefo. This is a really scrappy breakdown. But I think France are going to know. They give away the penalty. I live in Blenheim, man. Beautiful day. Says Wayne. And now 5 metres out, Santiago Alvarez. They're going to call for the scrum. Now 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. Argentina have won both Cup quarterfinals. I assume that is up against the French so far for this series. Oh no, just both quarterfinals played this season. They are, of course, sitting at the first equal position alongside Spain as well as Fiji, all sides that have made it to at least the quarterfinals in this league. Just talking about the fact that there will be a player in the bin for another 35 seconds here. And straight through. Mari, it was the man advantage and just managing to get straight through. And his first try in Vancouver. Palandini went straight to him and just stepping around Ben Miguel. Left that massive gap for Mari to be able to go straight through. And now that kick has gone over. And now one last chance, maybe 30 seconds remaining in the half. That is still a very doable amount of time. Oh, bit of a loose ball there. And it's going to be offside against France. And them Highlanders as well. Blues coach didn't look happy at all, says Wayne Stretch, as he wouldn't have been. He, of course, would have been looking for a victory at the end of the day. They're 0 from 2 at the moment. Vamos Los Pumas, says Lilia B. And that one's going to go into touch again for the Argentines. Halftime siren sounding, but Argentina have still got this one last attacking chance of the half before they do get into the second 7 minutes. Palandini to throw this one in. France have struggled to keep the ball throughout this matchup, almost dropping the French jumper, who actually almost sat on his teammate. That helps him back to his feet, and now the two of them have to make the tackle. That's a really hard landing for Argentina. A bit of afters as well. Massive physicality. I think there's the knock on. I think that's going to be now halftime, but Alvarez in the back of his head pretty hard on the turf. Gracias, the Kiwi lads, says Louis, thank you very much for being here. And can Wales win a game? I take them on TAB because they always pay in heaps. Hard need an upset. They were very close to getting the win over the Irish, to be fair. They were about as close as they have been in a pretty long time. Second half of this contest is just around the corner. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel. Of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back for the semi-finals on the channel. The team that loses this match will be going head-to-head up against the New Zealanders. And the winner of this game, of course, going head-to-head with the Spanish. Subscriptor de Kiwi desde la Kuna. This is where I really wish I knew more Spanish or Portuguese. One of the two. I know they're slightly different, but I only know like one sentence, unfortunately, so that's not going to help me much in this case. And Wales' new coach might be working for them, says Wayne. And yeah, I think it was just a few good decisions. Like the scrums were very dominant for Wales throughout that first half, making Ireland give away about 4 penalties at scrum time. And Vamos Argentina, says Ariel. And also, he meant a follower from Kiwis since their interception. Their inception, says Mikhail. It looks like Argentina have got plenty of supporters in the stand. Same with the French. These sides all wanting to see their teams do well. Great Kiwi. Thanks for your transmission. No worries at all. And like I said, we're going to be back. You need premium to watch the match, says Moose, for the Disney Plus, I assume that is. Now kicked off by Argentina for the second period of play. Set up for France. There's going to be an advantage for the knock-on. Now, Steven Perez-Martin, he's made his way back out onto the field after his yellow card. Knock-on in the tackle, and it will be the scrum feed now for France. Next quarter final is taking place in only 8.5 minutes. That will be Fiji versus Great Britain, then followed by the South African versus Australia match. 8 minutes time will take us through to 35. We'll still leave our schedule for the same time, just in case there are delays. Of course, this game still has potential of going to the golden point. They're not a translate option on your in YouTube Studio. I don't have the chat through YouTube Studio. I've got it through my streaming software, so that's where I unfortunately don't get to see the translations. Currently on the halfway line, Marcos Maneta going off to Palandini. Alvarez now is on the outside, stepping well for Graziano. Gets away to Alvarez. Palandini, how are New Zealand doing in the sevens? Well, New Zealand just lost up against Spain, so they got knocked out in the quarters. The women's side of things, they are going extremely well as always. And there's going to be another penalty this time in favour of the Argentines. It's going to be against the French for offside. Tobias Wade making his way onto the field. Just talking about the fact that back in the old days, it was 10 minutes in terms of the halves for the final. Nowadays, that is no longer the case. Right, time is back on. Palandini now will once again kick this one into touch. Argentina just slowly working their way up the field. Spain has been surprising lately, says Lucas. Yeah, they've had an incredible start to this Sevens competition, or the series in general. The fact that they went from the side that a lot of people felt were the easy beats to now being competitive week in, week out, and sitting currently first equal is absolutely massive for them. And go Argentina, says Federico. Currently the French, though, have got themselves the position. 5 minutes remaining in this matchup, and they will go out wide. A little bit of a stutter step coming from Afiel. Now back to the right. Passing out wide to Jordan Cepho. Low tack on him by Palandini. Bit of a counter-ruck coming from the Argentines, but the ball is still there for Steven Perez-Martin and his French side. Can you say, for those of us who follow you from Argentina, what does it mean, first of all, just in case? Because I've had that before, how someone donated to us and they said to say these words, and then I said every swear word in Tongan and offended pretty much a whole nation. So I think I'll have to get that one on Google Translate first, just to make sure. Now, second half. It's already almost halfway down. It's not bad, says Mikhail. Okay, well, that's good news then, that it isn't bad. It's the way we talk with each other. So it means idiot. There you go. Vamos Argentina, says Ramiro. I'm going to be throwing this ball in for Palandini. And good call, says Wayne Stretch. Now off to the right-hand side. Pauline Riva. Almost sneaking through. Riva with another offload. Looking towards the corner. Dizay. He will be in, and that is going to be the first try of the match for the French as they now get back into the contest. And Vamos Argentina, says Ramiro. And Vamos Argentina, says Fernando. And there as well. Just off to that right-hand side. The big fend coming in for the French. Is this going to be another game going to golden point time? And Stephen Perez-Martin does get the kick over. Now making it 7-all between these two sides. 1 p.m. Says Gusty there. Yes and no. There's not a despective way to say idiot. Says Mikhail. Oh yeah, there go the Pumas. And Marcos Maneta. And just realised we play Moana Pacifica. They never buy. So that's good for us, says PSG. And Daro is not happy with that try being conceded. Tough matchup. Yeah, very evenly matched, these two sides. The last few times in the head-to-head, though, it is pretty rare for France to actually get the victory. So if they were to do it here in the quarterfinal, it would be a pretty big win for the French. Golden point again. 3 minutes 30 remaining. If we get through that time and no one has scored, or both teams have scored, and we're on the same points, we're going to golden point again. I was about to say the same thing, golden point again. And that would be 4 games in a row on the channel that we've commentated that go to golden point, which is absolutely insane. And that probably will never happen again. Definitely because we did skip a couple games at certain points. Now off to the right-hand side. With Tasman started and Blenheim woke up in Nelson. And can you do drop goals? You certainly can. Though it's normally more of a risk than just going for another try. Now back across to the left-hand side. Big wide pass from Argentina. Here comes the pace of Luciano Gonzalez. Gets through 2. Still trying to go. Finds the offload to Azadsuk. Who's dragged down by Stephen Perez-Martin. Argentina, this is their best chance of the second half to score a try. And they have got the penalty in their favour as well. The Box purposely lost to the Aussies, knowing that they will play them again in the quarters. Now, says Neil, I think that would be match fixing, and then that would get the Springboks banned, or the Blitzboks banned, I should say. But I think they just lost. Like, it's okay to lose games in sevens. As you'll see, it happens all the time. But they wouldn't have known at that stage that they were going to be playing up against the Australians, because they didn't know who the best third place ranked teams were, because there were still a couple more games to go. So that wouldn't have been the mindset. It was just the fact they got beaten by a better Australian side in the match, but they'll come back, and I'm sure they'll be competitive in the next one. Just finished work. What teams made it to the quarterfinals? So far, we have seen New Zealand versus Spain, and Spain beat New Zealand, so they will move on to the semis. The winner of this game will face Spain, and then the next game will be Fiji versus Great Britain, which is a bit of an interesting contest, because like, Great Britain can either be hot or cold. They'll either be on fire, or they will really struggle. And then alongside that, penalty this time going the way of France. That's a big turnover for Uruguay and his French side. And then the last quarterfinal is South Africa versus Australia. Pauline Riva will once again kick this one towards the sideline. Not a lot of time remaining here, less than 100 seconds to get something going. And once again, if neither of these sides score, we're going to golden point. Did someone score? I was gone. No one has scored. Still 7 points each for these two teams. But Uruguay put the ball in. Nicely claimed at the front. And then he knocks it on, though. He doesn't think so, but it was about as clear as day. And 7 for 14 minutes, says Nicholas. Yeah, just 1 minute left on the clock. Going to see here, Uruguay, yeah, dropping that ball. And now into the last 60 seconds. Why New Zealand lost to Spain? Because they didn't score enough points. The last, I can't even remember how many games it is, but New Zealand really struggled to get 14 or more up against the Spanish. And in the end, Spain winning it in golden point time with a quick fire try. Big scrum for Argentina, who are now in possession yet again. Going off to the right-hand side on the halfway line. Marcos Mineta puts the grubber in behind. Not going to win the foot race, though. France able to get possession back. Argentina win the penalty and the breakdown. This is their chance to take the quick tap, and that is exactly what Marcos Mineta will do. Luciano Gonzalez goes across to the left-hand side now. Argentina have numbers. All they need to do is score and not even worry about the conversion because there's not enough time left on the clock. Jermaine Schultz, pick and go. Still the ball for Argentina. It is scrappy at the moment, but 5 seconds left on the clock. Can Argentina get the try? Luciano Gonzalez trying to step through this French wall of a defense. He bounces out of one. He gets taken down in the next. Graziano, skip pass out wide. Azad has hung on to it, and Argentina will advance to the semi-finals. They had to work extremely hard for that one, but they got the job done in the end. And now Spain-Argentina, a matchup that has taken place quite a few times recently. Both sides sitting tied for top alongside Fiji. And Ramos says Lucas there. And Ramos says Fernando in the chat as well. But great finish from Matthias Azutsuk. Almost had a half by little fumble when he tried to grab that ball. And the kick is missed, but it will not matter. It is going to make the score 12 points to 7, and Argentina advance to the next stage of the competition. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. The next live stream is happening right now. It's going to be the matchup between Great Britain and the Fijians, followed by South Africa versus Australia. But this final, it is going to be taking place, or the semi-final, I should say. It is a 9:30-ish a.m. kickoff for us here in New Zealand. So in terms of when that one is taking place, you're looking at about 18 hours, somewhere around there. But we will schedule it relatively soon too. But nonetheless, we'll transfer over to that next stream. We will see you all for the next